Wendy Fisher asks, she says, we always hear that doing the hard things ultimately gives us freedom. We have also heard what we focus on grows. So logically, if we focus on hard all the time, isn't life just constantly hard?
No, I think they misunderstood when we say hard, or when Jocko says hard, when Goggins says hard, when Jordan Peterson and Joe Rogan and I say do hard things. We mean manufacture hard events for yourself. Like, for example, if you're going to go to the airport, park at the farthest parking slot and walk like you're doing something hard over easy, driving around looking for that close spot. Take the stairs instead of the escalator. Do hard workouts, longer workouts on weekends, like what I do on Sundays. I dedicate Sundays to leg day, or I dedicate leg days to Sundays, because I have 2 hours that I can train legs, just punish myself intentionally very hard, get to that point where I'm so out of breath, where I'm so exhausted, where I have that metallic taste in my mouth, where my body's just like trying to reject the workout. Then afterwards, I'll go to Nectar and have a little smoothie, just get enough calories in to go do the eucalyptus loop, a 3-mile hike with 6 hills, right? There and back. And so these are, when you do manufactured hard stuff, an ice bath every morning or every night, that doesn't mean you're going to focus on hard, bad things like, oh my God, there's a war between Palestine and Israel right now. There's, we're sending more money to them. We're sending more money to Ukraine. The US border is open. Our country's under hard times right now. If you start thinking like that, going down the rabbit hole of hard things that you can't control, you will start attracting more negative hard things. But doing hard, intentional stuff, challenging stuff that taxes your body, taxes your mind intentionally, so that you can really showcase more emotional maturity, emotional discipline, resilience, that is good for you, because then the normal hardships of life, when they come, and those are inevitable, by the way, you have no choice, they're going to come. When they come, you're just going to be like, oh, this was easy. And that's because you constantly do hard stuff on purpose. So you've conditioned yourself, when a hard thing happens to you, it's easy. I do believe my torn tricep and the death of my mom 3 weeks ago, I was able to handle it well and catapult through it just fine. Coming out of this whole thing leaner and stronger, simply because I've done hard things for so long intentionally, that when a hard situation happened where I tore my tricep and then a couple of months later my mom dies, and those of you that have lost a parent, like, the pain that I'm talking about. Like, this is your mom. She's your connection to this world. And all of a sudden you feel like, I'm up next. Like, this is it. She brought me here. And in my case, we came to the United States and me and my mom were best friends, right? Like, my mom and my dad and my older brother, sister, they're working, trying to make ends meet. And me and my mom are trying to figure out how to use the food stamps at grocery stores. So it was just constant adventures with me and my mom when I was a kid. And so to lose her, and to also have a torn tricep and not to be able to work out like I want, roll, box, all the things that are good for me mentally and physically. But because I've got structure, I've done so many hard things in my life on purpose. I literally schedule hard events in my life. And therefore, I was able to, when these inevitable hardships came, I was able to bounce out of it. Yeah. Took a few months, but I was able to bounce out of it.
It's tough, man. And just to kind of touch on your post that you made this morning was super, obviously well thought out, well written as always, but you could tell that it affected a lot of people in a positive way, because the comments like, man, this came right on time. I needed this. I'm going through something similar to this right now. And everything that you said right now, as far as preparing yourself for these moments by choosing to kind of manufacture adversity, is what's going to help get you through there.
Dude, because look, everybody at any given time is going through some level of hardship. It may register as a 2 on the Richter scale or a 10, right? But we're all going through some level of hardship. I think it's Joseph Campbell who wrote The Power of Myth, that says all of life is suffering with brief moments of bliss and happiness, which is true. Like, every day you have to get up and figure out, what do I eat? You got to get in a metal box and go at high speeds to get to work. There's a inherent risk there. War could break out any minute. 1 minute there was a concert in Israel, next minute fucking homies are parachuting in and shooting women and children at the concert in communities. Like, all of life is suffering with brief moments of bliss and happiness. And so knowing that, if all of life is suffering, and that's not a bad thing, by the way, suffer intentionally so that you callous those resiliency muscles, you strengthen them.